Hey everybody, it's Dan Martin. Today's video is going to be on early extension. One of the problems that is kind of very in vogue in a lot of golf circles is how do you get rid of early extension? So let's go ahead and define what early extension is, and we're going to talk a little bit about the cause of it, which I don't think people talk about the cause about it, what causes it, because it is a symptom of something. It's not something, a problem that you necessarily have. So we'll get that kind of clarified. And then some exercises you can do with my training aid and as well as without to start to get the feeling of getting rid of some of that early extension in your swing. So what is early extension? Well, early extension is when we start from here and when we get back down to the impact point, our pelvis has moved in towards the target line and made us have to stand up, okay? Now, people don't just do that for a reason. The issue with early extension is, and why I think it's kind of misdiagnosed, is they don't really understand the dynamics that would cause that to happen. So let's go back into what a golf swing is. A golf swing is a motion that is extending away from you in an orbit around your body, basically. So there's always something pulling this way, kind of downwards towards the target line, and then the body is working to counterbalance that. So the body doesn't just create the motion, it actually reacts and responds in a very balanced manner, okay? What causes early extension for players is that they do something in their sequencing that starts to get the upper ahead of the lower. Mostly I find for players that really try to hit it with their hands, or they're really trying to use the shaft as a lever to make the club head run into the ball. You have no choice. If you start throwing this down, something's got to get taller to make room so the club doesn't pound into the ground. So if you're somebody that tends to kind of hit it fat and cast a lot, you probably also have a lot of early extension in your swing. Once that's become a habit, that's kind of your brain just kind of remembers the pattern. So it's kind of hard to get rid of, but if you don't take care of the problem first, then you're going to have that symptom always show up. So I'm going to move over to my training aid, the Pro here, just to kind of give a little bit more of a dynamic of understanding how a swing works and why you won't actually get early extension when you swing with this, okay? When you swing something that's attached to a rope, to get it to have power and speed, you have to learn how to coordinate. Your brain has to kind of react to the forces of a golf swing and how they move and extend away from you. See, a golf swing is primarily based on taking energy from the earth and then converting it into angular momentum that transfers through the body that continues to build speed. If you have to get this thing to go fast or start to make it move in a predictable orbit, you don't move into it. It doesn't feel natural because all of a sudden it feels like I don't have any control. So as I start to feel it extend, I actually want to do the opposite. You'll see my lower body actually kind of pushes back against the motion coming through, like so. But when I get my golf club in my hand, what's the difference? Well, the properties of the golf club has rigidity as the main driver. So if I feel like I have to move the club head and make it hit the golf ball, it actually throws me out of balance, and my effort in keeping balance is up on the toes and straight up. So there's your cause of early extension. So working with my training aid, the Pro, naturally starts to get you the feeling of creating motion that takes away early extension. Now, what you could do without my training aid that I think is equally valuable, and I think it's a great thing for everybody to work on, but they're very simple balance drills. Lynn Marriott and Pia Nilsson kind of made these famous in their Vision 54 books. But if you actually start working on swinging with one foot on the ground, you actually will topple every time you try to do something that would cause early extension. So instead of early extending and getting away with it, you'll actually lose balance. So if I can learn, I can start kind of on my dominant foot. For me, it's my right foot. If I can make golf swings cleanly on one foot, I can feel my body kind of sinks in to help me offset the pull of the golf club. It's because balance really is not so much, it's not so much like holding my feet in the ground and gripping the ground, but it's learning how to counterbalance the extending quantity of momentum that I'm going to run into the golf ball. So if you can do practice swings and stay solid, then you can work on hitting golf balls, just working on one foot. And you'll notice like that when I hit kind of bad, I could feel my hands go first, and it actually pulled me kind of into an early extension motion. So as I practice that more and more, I'm going to get better at feeling like a really good one. I'll feel like I actually kind of sit back a little bit to offset the motion. Now, do you need to sit back to cause something? Not necessarily. I'd say it's a balance between the movement that's kind of working away from you and what your body needs to do to stabilize it. But once you've worked on one foot for a while, you can actually start to feel that at your transition point, I actually don't, if I don't use my hands or don't try to kind of get the golf club going first, and I feel myself kind of sit down, that actually helps propel the golf club in the right way, and all of a sudden, I don't have any early extension in my golf swing. So in review, early extension is caused by the application of force to the club, trying to make it hit the ball instead of learning the art of swinging a golf club, which is always a counterbalanced act. Hitting golf balls on one foot can be one of the best things you can do. Getting My Training Aid, the Pro, is another great thing to do. Hope you guys all found that helpful. We'll see you next time.